You're listening to the AZREIA Show. If you're looking for quality real estate investing information that you can trust, you've found it. Stay tuned and join the tens of thousands of members that have already benefited from AZREIA, your home for education, market information, support, and networking opportunities that will advance your real estate investing career.
Hello and welcome to the AZREIA Show. This is your weekly dose of real talk, real deals, and real estate success right here in Arizona. And in today's episode, we're going to do a recap. We want to touch on three things, right? We want to touch on the overall Arizona market and our thoughts on the market for 2025, our standout episodes of the podcast. We want to talk, Mike going to share two, I'll share two standout episodes, and then we'll go over AZREIA happenings and recap for 2025. So jumping right in, right, we're going to do a recap of the 2025 market, what we've seen from our perspective and what we've learned from Tina Tambor and Dan Noma from doing the market updates, just to do a summary on how everything shook out for 2025. So, Mike, welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks for having me, Marcus. Appreciate it.
So let's jump right in, man. As we close out 2025, the Arizona housing market is showing clear signs of stabilization and improvements. What are you seeing in regards to inventory?
Inventory still high. Last year, we're up from last year about 15%. So more houses are hitting the market. Buyers continue to have choices, as we see out there. So definitely get educated and make more offers. And I think sellers are starting to understand they need to negotiate a little bit, right? So supply fell about 5% from last month. This is December. Obviously, we're doing the recap. Due to more listings, expirations, and cancellations, we had some big months where there was like thousands of expireds and cancellations. So agents are getting fired. So either the sellers are like, hey, I just can't get what I want, so I'll take it off the market. It's not a hot market. Or they don't have a good agent, or they priced it wrong, or they got bad information, so they're trying new agents. So when agents are getting fired, I think one month it was like 15,000.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you think one of those people, all right, may get creative or take a low cash offer, because we're always looking for problems, right? So it's change. It's good news for us, I think. Get out there and participate. What are your thoughts on demand?
So I see demand is trending up, right? Just some quick stats here. Pending and under contract activity is roughly 9 to 12% up overall year over year, and closings are up 5%. What I'm seeing personally as far as demand is, it was weakened in the beginning of 2025 and, through the first quarter, second quarter, really the whole year of 2025. But now I think that first quarter of 2026 is going to be key, is going to be pivotal on how
you always got to check your words, dude. But I will say your words of, you've always proven me wrong. I think I was like, my vocabulary.
Pivotal. That's what I was trying to say. I said pivotal.
Yeah. I was like, I think my vocabulary just has to get better. That's all.
Yeah, so the first quarter is going to be pivotal on how 2026 is going to shake out. We're hearing things about interest rates decreasing and everything like that. So it's really going to depend on that.
Yeah, and it's like through this past year, like all the seasonal bumps that we usually get didn't happen either. Right. So I'm really curious to see what happens in January, because like mid-January, right, we're supposed to get back in the flow of things. So we'll see.
And we usually get a bump, right, in 55 and older communities, and that didn't happen this year whatsoever.
55 plus was hurting this year.
But what really saved the market, and I'm kind of jumping ahead, is high-end luxury had a better year this year than normal. So what about...
Well, keep in mind, when I'm not saying we're in a recession, I don't know the technical where we're at, but in tough times you sell to the rich, right? So it's like the rich people that have large down payments, $200,000, $300,000, or they're paying full cash for $1 million house. Interest rates don't matter.
Yeah, they have the liquidity.
Yeah.
Basically, they just shifting money around. That's what a lot of are doing.
And you only get that type of exposure or those little hunches, those little trends by being in it, right? Being around people, being like, I started noticing that because my wife, investor agent, one of her clients was flipping, and she started upgrading her houses, right? Like in Scottsdale with pools and just redesigning them and awesome staging and pricing it. Like, they're just moving them. I only saw that because my wife was in the trenches doing it, right?
Yeah.
So
Sell to who's buying.
Get in the trenches, man. So pricing, medium sales price is holding at $450, slightly higher than last year and unchanged month to month. Price per square foot is up about 1.6% year over year. That's not a boom, but after a soft summer, it shows resilience. Mm-hmm. So what do you think on affordability?
Affordability is quietly improving. We had this after COVID in 2021, 2022, and the first half of 2023, we saw that huge appreciation run up. So that affordability, it was hard for those new home buyers, first-time home buyers to enter into the market. But now it seems like it's starting to stabilize a little bit and even starting to trend downward just a little bit. And that's just because, again, so many houses that were being canceled, expired listings and things like that. Some sellers are now starting to have reality, right? Saying, hey, I can't sell my house for $850 when I know it's only worth $800. I got to list at $795. Things like that. Prices are rising slower than inflation. Mortgage rates are lower than last month. And household incomes continue to grow throughout 2025. Those household incomes are growing. It's a slow growth, but it is a growth. Again, the first quarter of 2026 is really going to put things into perspective.
Yeah, wage, obviously, there's just so much. Yeah, like you said, with COVID going up, the pricing's high, with interest rates high, it's tough. So seeing prices go down a little bit helps, interest rates go down a little bit helps, people making more money. Those are all good indicators. But yeah, I'm curious to see. Hopefully it gets better. Yeah. Otherwise, we got to build more. Over the last decade, Arizona's built half as many houses as what they normally do.
Right.
Very interesting. Where do we go?
I think some of that affordability, where you can get some of that affordability is, like you were saying, in new builds where you have builders able to give you all of these options as far as buying down your interest rate or giving you promo interest rates, and things like that. So it's like, why go and buy a resale where you can't negotiate the interest rates when you can buy a brand new house for the same price, basically, and negotiate the interest rate and get in at 5% or 5.5% versus 6.5% to 7%.
Yeah, I think we had members like in Santan Valley, even Tucson, where it's just like they're locking in 3.9s, 4.9s. They're at the 300,000. Am I that boring, Marcus?
No, man, it was just a long work night.
No, yeah, right? Like, there's deals out there, and I think the builders are going to be more negotiable than anybody. They got to get these houses off the books, or whatever it may be. You got to jump in there, get those offers out. The direction of market matters more than all the stats we're going up over. So with demand rising, supply falling, the market is slowly tilting back towards sellers. So always keep an eye on the Cromford Index. So we usually show that at the monthly meeting where you can see the buyer, seller demand in the overall market. I mean, hopefully it stays where it's at. We always say here at AZREIA, you probably heard me say it a million times, as business owners, we like predictable markets. So we can make decisions. Yeah, it might be high, it might be higher priced things, but there's still buyers out there, obviously, is what we're seeing. At least we know it's not shooting up or shooting down really quick, so you can make some decisions and predict your business a little bit. So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, and flat out the bottom line, 3 months ago the market felt a little shaky. Everybody knew it, right? It was like you said, it was that unpredictability. Today it looks healthier than expected. Yes, 2025 was a lower volume year. I know all of the realtors feel it. A lot of the title companies feel it, but we showing signs of strength.
Yep, the pros are out.
Yep.
Like you see all the get rich quick, all the people jumped in it for quick money, they're all gone.
Yeah, and it's funny, like a lot of the people that you used to see on Instagram and YouTube and everything like that, it's crickets out there now, right? Or they shifted into totally different industries.
Yeah, if you look back at your favorite guru or whoever it is, you can look at it and see what they're doing now, right? I get it. Business owners, you got to go where the money is. Just like we say pivot in real estate, you got to pivot into different strategies. I get it too. If real estate's not making money for you, you got to move on to another business. But if people are selling you education and stuff, look back at the last year to scroll through their feed and see how many different things they tried to sell you.
Yeah.
Like different strategies, different ideas. There's not, there's not that many you're going to be really using. Maybe creative stuff right now. Cash offers, always love those, right? But think about different concepts and ways and spins that they've sold, right? Like I like to say we're like the filter, right, through all that. So it's like we're just going to tell you how it is, tell you the fundamentals, tell you what we see, and tell you what's working. So take it, if you get confused out there of all the different ways and all the different things, it gets overwhelming. I was talking to a gentleman yesterday, and he's just like, this guy said I bought his book and it was really vague. Then I had to sign up and get like the 40-point checklist. And if I wanted to go further, I had to apply to be in something. And then how do I get apply? It's just, then he said, I'm missing this and I'm missing that. I'm like, man.
He's in that sales
You're
funnel.
in a sales funnel. Like, let's get right to it. Let's get business done. Let's get the real information, the real people in the trenches. Just come over to AZREIA, man.
The fundamentals, right? The foundation. That's what you got to have. Right? Once you have those solid, then you can start looking at some of these other things to help put additional tools in your toolbox. But you got to make sure you got a hammer, screwdriver, saw, the foundational principles of real estate. You got to have that.
A little blueprint, what to do first.
Yeah, and if you don't have that and you're jumping out and you're trying to build a house and you're jumping out there with the wrong tools, you got a chainsaw when you need a circular saw or something like that, you're not going to get too far.
Yeah, I
agree. So use AZREIA as that funnel, and I'm talking directly to you. Use AZREIA as that funnel to make sure that you get the proper foundation to either build your real estate career or build on top of what you've already learned.
Love it. Love it. All right, what's next?
Kind of looking here, we have 3 things that we kind of want to look at. Buyers still have options, right? In short, buyers still have options. Sellers are starting to gain margins or starting to gain leverage, right? Because now we're in that balance pretty much, but it swings a little bit to the buyers right now. So again, and I keep repeating this, first quarter of 2026 is really going to depend on what happens in that first quarter.
Cool.
Prices are stable, not collapsing, and demand is moving in the right direction.
Love it. All right, we'll see what happens in January. We'll get another update going.
Yep. Kind of pivoting, right? We talked about the market update. What were some of your top podcast guests that we spoke to this year?
Yeah, the podcast is fun, man. If you're new or listening to this for the first time, yeah, man, we've been on for 4 years, over 200 episodes. We've talked about everything under the sun of real estate, from agents to investors, raising money, developers, hotels, whatever, you name it, man. We covered everything. So go back. We're on all podcast episode or platforms. We release a new episode every Friday at 8 a.m. So make sure to subscribe to our email list so you can get that notification. And we're also on YouTube. But we always have fun, right? In the first one I'm going to say is a more recent one. Our fellow friend Steve Krellin, I think it was at Yawkey Appraisals, was it?
Yeah.
He's a professional appraiser. Man, like, he showed me, one, what energy is. Right? Like, 'cause me, I'm just like laid back. Yeah, we're talking on the podcast. But he brought the energy and he backed it up with the knowledge, man. Just gave us the basics on appraisals and what to look for, information on where the market's going as appraisals. Really stuck out, like some just going back. We always talk about financial freedom and time freedom, but it's like he went back into how the government's getting into the appraisal industry and how, where I think it was like he can do 4 appraisals in a day. It's like the paperwork now, it's going to bring them down to 1 to 2 a day. Yeah. So how does that affect us as investors? It's going to cost more money. It's always got to charge more because I'm doing less and they got to make a living. I get it. So that was very interesting to hear that. But just how we talked about how a good way to comp and
that was interesting.
Yeah, because we're always stuck on, we have a criteria, which I'm not saying don't go off the criteria for us as investors and trying to get the best comps. But he just gave you some information that, like, if you can't find enough data, you got to go outwards, right? So he lets you know it's okay to do that. I would get nervous to go too far out or and so on. So yeah, check out Steve Krellin. It was just on a couple weeks ago, maybe November. Check out, man.
One of the things that he said in that podcast that I remember very vividly, he was like, an appraiser can use what you provide them, right? Because a lot of appraisers say, well, no, I can't use that. I have to do my own independent study, my own market analysis, and everything like that. He said, that's true. We still have to do our own individual, but we can use your resources to validate what we're providing as a summary.
Yep, and he said email that to him immediately versus meeting him at the property, or if you're an agent, you don't have to meet him, you have to leave a packet in the kitchen. Just once he introduces himself, send him your data.
True.
Cool.
True.
What about you?
My guy, Chimney, down in Tucson.
I love
Episode, we did it about 5 months ago. The episode title is From Beginner to Expert with House Hacking. So I just love how he took the position of, I may not have a lot of money, I may not have a lot of time, but what I do have, I'm going to use it to help build my real estate portfolio. So he house hacked, right? So used FHA, found property, and then he house hacked his way on up. So that was amazing to me, because a lot of people, they come in and say, well, I don't have a rich uncle, I don't have this, I don't have that. He looked at what he did have and utilized that to build his real estate career.
No, man, and he had some good stories about his tenants, so it's definitely worth a listen. And I like when Chimney, so everyone knows, he's a subgroup leader. So he literally, I don't even know, probably less than 5 years ago, right? He had a full-time job, he has a young family, and he did the house hacking, lived in it, rented it out, moved to the next one, lived in it, rented it, moved out. Like, we can do it. You can do it. It's possible, right? So also, if you want to know more about house hacking, Patrick Allen, who also is in Tucson, he wrote a book on house hacking. So if you want to know what that is or how it works and why you should do it, it's on our website, or you could probably buy it in person when you're at the office. But Chimney was a great episode, man.
Yeah, so if you're down in Tucson, Sierra Vista, all of those areas down there, reach out to Chimney. He got some good information. And if you are currently a landlord, he got a special surprise for you.
His AI,
his AI
property management intake.
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah, awesome. Talk to Chimney. So I thought that was a great one, especially for our beginners, because we get a lot of beginners in AZREIA, which is fine. We have a good balance, right? We have beginners, we have experienced investors, but for you beginners, right, that podcast would be great for you.
Yep, for sure.
All right, what about you? What was the next one for you, Mike?
I'm going to go with Isabel Garino. Her family and herself have been around AZREIA for a really long time. And they launched in, what's the word? Championed or created or...
Champion, that was good.
That's a good one? I was going to say trailblaze is what I think. Okay. For residential assisted living. So her dad created the program of how to take your real estate and turning it into residential assisted living. Isabel, the rock star, she was on the podcast obviously this year, every year. But one thing, we have a relationship where we like to promote on our calendar to her 3-day boot camp. So every 7 weeks down in Central Phoenix, or down by the airport, she puts a 3-day boot camp. People fly from all across the country to go to her training. She is top-notch, the best residential assisted living trainer in the country. I think probably there's not too many of them either. So my wife and I personally went to them, and a lot of members have. So every 7 weeks, go to our calendar, check out our boot camp. You get an awesome discount compared to their pricing as an AZREIA member. So what really sticks to me on that is the silver tsunami. It just is what it is. 10,000 baby boomers a day are retiring or something along those lines. And it's just back to supply and demand. Yeah. They need help. They need a place to stay.
What they want.
It really is. So if you are looking to change the use of your rental properties, or just buy a new property and do assisted living and own the real estate. Remember, it's two businesses, right? Yep. You have the real estate, and then you have the residential assisted living. But she has this binder that's like 5 inches thick, and you get the whole standard operating procedures when you leave, right? So, anyways, I love it. I believe in it. I know it's needed. Yeah.
And we do have some members here in AZREIA that's went through a program and have residential assisted living homes right now that they're operating.
Oh, yeah. We have tons of members that went through a program through the years and to this day. Yeah.
Yeah, so we can validate that. For me, it's Mark Pomrecki. I think I'm saying his name correctly. But last month we did a podcast where he went from motels to hotels, right? The thing that I liked about that podcast is his grit, right? Yeah. Where he talked about he was driving through all of these small rural towns and giving them their pitch. You know, just giving them his pitch on he could put a motel or a hotel in these small towns. And it really struck me as interesting, right? Because when you think of a motel or hotel, you have to have, you know, a population density in order to fill that hotel up. He was like, no, we look for those towns between 3,000 and 6,000, 3,000 and 10,000 people, population, and we build a motel there. And it was mind-blowing because it's like, how can you even do that? Where is your business coming from? And he was like, it's simple. People live there in the town, and they have people that come and visit and drive through, right?
Gotta take a nap.
How many times have you had, like Thanksgiving, you have people that come into town, and you're like, man, they need to go to the hotel. You're not staying with me.
Oh, yeah, man.
In those smaller towns, you don't have that option. And he found a niche and really created that and built it out. And then also he did the supply chain behind it and just everything. So he really built a business around it, and he went from small motels and then ended up doing hotels.
I think it was like up to 70 units or something like
70
that. 60
units,
Yeah, what I grabbed from that too, also just it's about what we do every day, like the offer. Always going back to writing the offer. It's like he had his idea. No one, you're crazy. Who didn't put a hotel in 3,000 people? Or, you know, but he went to multiple cities, is driving around like you said, and one city said, "We want it. I like this. Let's do it. We need this." It just putting out the offer. Not giving up. A city said yes, and then once that city said yes, other cities was like, "Oh, it worked there. We want to do that." So it's the same thing in in writing offers, dude, or raising money. You got to go out there and ask, and then you're not going to believe that person said yes, and they do, and it just launch pads it, right?
Yeah, and he used that public-private partnership,
too.
money in order to do it. So you got the city plus his private funds and private money funds, and put it together and created it. So I thought that was amazing.
It was a good one. Check that out. Yeah, check out those episodes.
All right. So lastly, Mike, we're in the last section of this episode. Guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe to the podcast. We really want to bolster our membership, our viewership, and get it up higher. So we'll be doing some innovative things next year coming in 2026. Mike, let's start with just like an AZREIA recap on 2025. We're in the last month of the year, last 2 weeks of the year. You know, kind of give us a recap on some of the innovative things AZREIA rolled out this year.
Yeah, I got a little list here. One, just, you know, our membership is $249 a year. So we also what we rolled out was $25 a month. So if you like that monthly subscription style, we have that available. Tina Tambor, we talked about the Cromford market update. She committed to doing every month next year at our monthly meeting. So next year in person, you can see Tina Tambor live, and you don't get too many options to see her live, right? You might be able to catch her on Zoom or something, but so you can see her in person here, and she always does a little twist or a perspective for real estate investors. So if you're an agent, you normally see her doing the agent stuff, but she does make it a little different for us. We added the live streaming to our monthly meeting, so we understand we have members all across the country, or sometimes you just can't make it, right? You know, you maybe live an hour away, you just got to work or whatever it is. So if you log in, pre-register in advance, you will get the link to the live YouTube stream, and you can watch everything. Thank you to Tony Simuel for making it look beautiful and clear and crispy. So what else? Anything you want to add? I got a list.
So,
I'm just going through a list.
So, I mean, well, go ahead with your list.
Yeah, so, we average about 6,000 people come through our doors a year. So if you're looking to meet people, they come here, and it's fun, and you learn a lot, and you create opportunity. So build your team, your vendors, your wealth is a team sport, right? So you build your team here, you can get deals here, you can raise money here, you can learn here, and build new friendships here. So 6,000 people, I'm sure you could find a handful to start hanging out with. With that, we're doing 10 to 12 events a month. So we got from our main monthly meeting in Scottsdale to our subgroups and our specialty focused groups, fix and flip, multifamily. Plus we do 1 or 2 specialized training workshops every month. Coming up, which I'll probably be promoting the first quarter of the year. We're going to be doing wholesale January, so build your wholesale business step by step in January, fix and flip bus tour in February, and a creative finance workshop in March. And if this drops here in December, so December 31st ends a holiday special where you can buy all 3 of those workshops. Oh, and the 90-day business planning session, January 31st. You can buy all 4 workshops for 60% off. So,
sweet deal.
Yeah. You launched 7.
Yeah, so AZREIA 7, Southeast Valley Investor Network. That's SEVIN, so Arizona 7. Great networking group. We started it, and the purpose of us starting it is because I find myself being in the Southeast Valley. Sometimes it's difficult to make that commute for the monthly meeting from Queen Creek or Santan Valley or Florence or Gilbert or Chandler all the way to North Scottsdale.
Or even Central Phoenix, I get it.
Yeah, or even Central Phoenix, right? So we created the Southeast Valley Investor Network just for those that's out there in the Southeast Valley so they can still connect, still make sure they're building their team, have that camaraderie with AZREIA without the long commute.
Mm-hmm.
So we do a brief market update. We go over East Valley cities and communities. So we Apache Junction, Mesa, Chandler, Gilbert, Queen Creek, Santan Valley, Gold Canyon. So those are the areas that we primarily focus on. But then we do have topics of conversation on what's going on in Tempe, what's going on in Scottsdale, things like that. So we're averaging about 15 investors that come out. We definitely want to boost that up. Meet at Oso in downtown Gilbert, Oso Brewery, for right now. And we just have a cool vibe, man. We just come out. You can get there around 5:30. It's still happy hour. You can get your pitcher of beer,
nice.
wine, drinks, whatever, any spirits, plus your food, half off, man. And we hang out and we talk.
The weather's perfect.
Weather is perfect.
Right now, at least.
Absolutely beautiful. And even in the summer, right? We're inside. They have the fan with the misters, things like that going on. And it's family friendly. So if you want to bring your kids, and it's pet friendly, right? So they have the dog park area also. So there's no reason if you're in the East Valley for you to stay at home. So right now we're doing it every other month. So our next one will be February 11th, if I'm not mistaken. But go to our calendar, azrea.org/calendar, and look at all the events that AZREIA has to offer.
Love it. Yeah, I'm excited about that. All right, so Dealmakers Accelerator. So I teamed up with Stuart Gethner, which was actually historically the first educator here at AZREIA 23 years ago. Lives off his real estate, right? That's what we all want to do. Joe O'Brien, as a rental portfolio, lives off his real estate. So and myself, we do this full time, and we get a lot of requests for private coaching, group coaching. So rather than sending you to gurus all around the world that come and go, we're Arizona investors training Arizona investors. So the Dealmakers Accelerator is here. So what we're actually doing, what we call the Investor Huddle. So starting December 17th, we're skipping Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. But all the Wednesdays in January, we do the Investor Huddle. So if you're new to real estate investing, every Wednesday we'll have some pizza, some soda, some water, and we're there to answer your questions. Okay. And we're going to have a themed topic. I don't have the topics on me now, but every week it's on the calendar. We'll tell you exactly what we're talking about for that night. But we're also open to networking and answering all questions and helping you out.
And that's here at the office.
Here at the Central Phoenix office. Okay. And last but not least, we'll jump right into, we love this. If you didn't know, we're the Arizona Real Estate Investors Association. And we are under the umbrella of the National Real Estate Investors Association, which has been around for 50 years, or I think it was like 43 years or something. And we are the only licensed and accredited RIA in the state of Arizona. And what's great about that is, you got a reputable place to start with. So even if you're moving to a different state or you want to do virtual wholesaling, just go to nationalria.org and just find a RIA in those cities and states. You'll get in the right direction. So every year there's a leadership conference. And out of 200 associations across the country, they pick the best, right? Or the most creative, innovative, and then there's all these categories. But yeah, this year, out of 200 associations, we won Best RIA in the country.
Excellent.
Yeah, man. Excellent. So got a little award somewhere. I think it's over there. But yeah, man, so we can't do it without you guys. If you guys didn't show up we wouldn't have AZREIA.
Right.
If you guys didn't participate and learn and network and apply the information, there wouldn't be AZREIA here. So we've been doing it 23 years here in the state of Arizona. We have chapters in Tucson, Phoenix, Northern Arizona. So wherever you're at, we're here to support you in your journey in real estate, man.
So AZREIA, often imitated, but never duplicated.
Yeah, I like that. Hey, man.
We're original.
Yeah, like I was telling in a meeting, like there's literally other RIA owners fly out here.
Yep.
Just to see, you know what I mean? And I don't take no credit. I'm just like, hey, man, we just open the door and tell them, hey, we live in a great state. We live in a great city. And we just make sure we provide a great experience and great education and networking opportunity. And that's all we do, man. So I appreciate everyone that listens and participates.
Yeah, that's a testament to the not only the members, but just the vibe here in Arizona. People want to learn. They want to absorb real estate. And AZREIA opens those doors so people can come in and get what they need from reputable instructors.
Yep.
Not someone in Washington, D.C. teaching you about the laws in Arizona real estate, or, you know, in California teaching you about what's going on in Arizona.
Yeah, and when you say reputable, like our subgroup leaders, they're all volunteers and they're active in today's business for 5+ years. And they want to answer your questions and lead you in the right direction. Our business associates, which is like our vendors and your team, they've been with us. Average person, I think, vendor is like 9 years or something like that, right? So it's like they've been with us for years. Thousands of people have used them. And if they weren't doing well, they wouldn't be here. Right. So it's a great place to get reliable real estate investing service providers. And even our trades, contractors, plumbers, electricians, we do a background check on their whole company, right? So we want you to know that you got reputable people going into your properties, right? So, yeah, awesome. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it.
Utilize those resources, guys. Yep. We have them here for you to utilize them. So just go to the AZREIA website, and you'll see our subgroups. You'll see the vendors lists, contractors, everything like that. So thank you again for another episode of the AZREIA Show, and we will be talking to you soon.
2026.
There you go.
All right.
Thanks for listening to the AZREIA Show with your hosts, Marcus Maloney and Mike Delpreet. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you found this information valuable, head over to AZREIA.org and learn more about our community.